Alrighty, this video we're going to go ahead and we're going to make this handle that the boombox has. We're going to go pretty fast. I'm going to use the same views of the front and side that we have for our boombox. As you can see over here, that yes, it is possible to name every single little thing that you have. This actually helps out a whole lot, especially with all those bools. Because if I can go, I'll just go ahead and show you here. So this one is the body and back insert, body and square insert, body and screw insert, etc., etc. So this allows me to do little edits with each individual bool, and I know which one it is. So if I ever look at, let's say, these little side inserts right off the bat, and I'm like, maybe they're not right or whatever, I can just go look at this body and side indents, and I'll know which one I need to do. If I need to do a different type of subtraction, if I need to, at that point in time, mess with the side indents. So these are all the side indents inside of it. So I know which one I need to play with. So that's why I really push with the naming conventions. Also, I know what all my extras are here. Put that in a little bit side thing. I'm going to go ahead and actually put the handle into this extra null, just so that it allows me to organize myself too. Alright, because these are extra pieces that are not going to be put into a bool. So, alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to hide this so I can just work on the handle itself. So I'm going to go ahead and create a cube, and I am going to just make it editable. Alright, now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to throw my visibility on this cube so that I can go ahead and play around with it. Now what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go ahead and give my face mode here, select the top, and I'm going to, actually before we do that, I'm going to readjust the position of this particular item just so that it kind of fits right there. Now I might have to readjust it after I have made it, right before I mirror it, so that I know that it fits right in there. But we're going to go ahead and go to our face mode. Got my top selected, and I'm going to bring this down. Alright, I'm going to do the same to the bottom, and I'm going to bring this down. I'm going to bring this down about this a little bit underneath, because I know that it actually goes into the body a little bit itself with that cut that we created. I'm going to do that. Now I'm going to go ahead and select the side. I'm going to bring it in. I'm going to make it the width. I believe that the gray, we want to go with the gray, because that looks like maybe there's something on that monitor that was in the background. I took that picture. Alright, I'm going to take the other side and we're going to bring it in a little bit. Alright, that works. Now what we're going to do is we're going to look at the width of it. And to do that, we're going to select this other side over here. And in this view, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to get it into the right position. Then I'm going to spin it around right here. I'm going to select the other side and I'm going to add it into the position itself right there. So right now, it's probably a good size of it. And if I look at it, alrighty, let's take a good look at it right here. And I just might need to readjust the position of this just a tiny bit, just so that it slides in here. And then I just might need to readjust the size just a tiny bit so that it actually will fit into here. And I can see that I can actually bring the bottom of this object down quite a bit. So we'll mess with the faces a little bit more. Bring this down a little bit so that it kind of, well, if I look at it, it does actually hang a little bit. So we'll actually undo that. bring it up just a little bit more. So actually we'll pivot like right on that particular position. So we'll just kind of eyeball it with bringing this in a little bit like that. Alright. Actually we'll want it a little bit more. So there's some space, and then we're going to select this other face on the other side, and we're going to bring this in a little bit, just so that there's some space on both sides. Alright. Now, I might get my object again, and we will object mode, select this. We're going to move this forward a little bit, so that it has a little bit of a space. This particular object, when the handle, the face and the handle, like the geometry right here, is touching this edge right here, it actually is going to be tilted down a little bit. Alright. So we have our width fixed out. Let's just double check this. Oh, it's just in the wrong spot. That's fine. Alright. Looks like that'll be fine. If I feel like this is a little bit too thick, which I might just bring it in. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to select this face. And I'm just really kind of eyeing at what I think it should look like. So this is actually a pretty skinny handle. Maybe a little bit wider, like that. Okay. So that works pretty good for the handle. Now, what we're going to do here is I'm going to do a couple things. So I'm going to get into the front view. I'm going to make a cut right here. So I'm going to get my knife tool, get my loop. I'm going to make a cut right here. Alright. Now the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to select this face. Sorry, as I spin around here. Okay, so I'm going to select this face that I... Alrighty, did it not make that cut because I had that... Alright, let's undo that then. Okay, so I had that face selected, so I only made a cut on that one spot, so I'm going to need to recut that right here. Now I'm thinking what happened is that my picture might have got moved at some point in time with the moving, but I'm pretty sure that this is, well, I'm still going to be able to use this as the height for it. It's just I think this image got moved to the left a little bit. But that is perfectly fine. Sorry. Alright, I'm going to get my face tool. I'm going to select this. And now, if you can see that there's actually a little bit of a dip in here. So this pretty much goes through the whole thing. So we're going to extrude out till we get to this part. Then we're going to extrude in. We're going to extrude out a little bit. And then we're going to extrude out again. And then we're going to extrude again. Alrighty. Oops. Yeah, right. Get confused. I keep moving between Macs and PCs. Confuses me. Alright, cool. So I'm going to be in this side view. I bet you I could probably move this a little bit over so it kind of lines up there. Alright, that looks like it works. So now I'm going to extrude. Oh, I gotta select this cube. There we go. Select my face again. Then I'm going to extrude. Oops, what happened? Looks like I'm having issues here. Lols. Alright, cool. There we go. I'm going to extrude out. Now that I'm in this view. Sorry if I'm going pretty fast for you guys. Alright, there we go. Now we're going to get into our perspective view. So now we kind of extruded out, so we had that little bit of a lip. All right. Now I'm going to do an extrude inner just a tiny bit. It's not too big of a dip. Alright, and then I'm going to extrude out just a little bit. Not a whole lot. Come on. Let's just zoom in and see how much I extruded out. Probably could move that. Jeez. Luis. There we go. Okay, so I'm probably going to move that out just a little bit more, just so it kind of works, and then we're going to do an extrude inner, extrude out to about the I'm going to extrude out just enough to the point where it's about the same size. That works for me. And then we're going to do another extrude, and we're going to extrude out this way. Alright? So now what I'm going to do here is, since I kind of positioned this correctly, when I do the mirror, it's not going to work 100%. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to select this face. I'm going to delete it. And now I have a shape like this, but I want it to be exactly on the other side. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy and paste it. I'm going to put it underneath the null. So this is the copy. Put it underneath the null. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to select the null, and I'm going to make it a negative X. And you're going to see that it puts it on the other side. So just so you can't see what happens, make it a negative X, hit return, bam, puts it on the other side. I can pull it out from underneath there, and now I have two objects that are going to be the same spot. Since everything has been mirrored correctly, I don't have to worry about positioning too much, but I would like to double check, even though I know that we have that already set up. I'm going to get rid of these invisibilities on here, just so I can really see what's going on. Alright, cool. That looks like it's fit. Alright, so what we're going to do now is we're going to go ahead and get a connect tool. I'm going to select these two objects, put it underneath there, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to make it editable. So now, with that connect, once I made it editable, these two polygons are in the same plane. So now I can go ahead and get my bridge tool when I'm on the edge mode, and I'm going to select this. I'm going to get from one side to the other side. Alright, now I typically like to, if I have to do something like this, I'll try to get the bottoms done, because those are pretty hard to get. Then I don't have to worry about rotating around weird. Then I'll get these sides done. And then I'll get the sides done right here. Oops. Did I do something weird? Looks like I did. Alright, let's try it again. There we go. Looks like my normals are messed up. Oh, this side. Okay, they're correct. So all of these normals are messed up. So we'll just go ahead and select them. Minus these ones. Minus, oops. Nope, those ones were correct. I needed to get those. Alrighty. Reverse my normals. Alright, cool. Now that's going to work with making sure our geometry is correct with the highlights and all that jazz. Okay, so what I might do at this point in time is I might go ahead and get my edge tool, select these two, dissolve it, and then do the same thing on the other side, dissolve it, and then we have our geometry. Now this particular one, probably need to increase the Fong, lower the Fong. There we go. So these were probably at a weird angle. Alright, cool. So now we have our handle done. Pretty easy. On the bottom, they kind of have some weird geometry. We're not going to worry about that too much. If we keep our boombox up, the top has the really tiny slices across the top right here. Again, we can get those fixed with that bump map, so we were not going to worry about those, but we have this out. Now, if you wanted to go ahead and make these, give these bevels, you could. See if I can get it working here without too much trouble. So what I'm doing for this bevel is I'm just kind of selecting the edges, and let's see if we can get it working. Bevel just a tiny bit. Bevel it just a tiny bit. It'll give us a nice look with the with that, and we're going to play with the chamber faces. So we have one right there. Actually, we want a little bit less than that. So 0.5, let's try that. 0.5 looks nice. And then we can probably add a couple more subdivisions to it. So I'm going to add one, see how that looks with our edges. And then see how 2 looks. I don't want to get too smooth because it is kind of still flat. So I'm going to go back to one subdivision. It's still, it gives it a little bit more of a smooth, but it's still pretty tight. Alright. And there we have it, that bevel to it. There we go. Alrighty. So I'm going to go ahead and name this. This is going to be Handel, and I'm going to put this into, I'm going to delete this empty null, put this into my boombox extras, bam. And now that was it for the handle. Pretty easy.